people with one song, with one voice. We're a nation undivided and poised.
Hi, I'm here again with Mr. Ben Ginikachukwu on Naija Talks. Today our topic is on democracy. We've been saying that democracy is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. But at the same time, the question we should ask ourselves is the government actually for the people? Now, we have a lot of anomalies going on in the governmental system and our democratic system in Nigeria as a whole. But how can we correct these issues? What are the steps we need to take as citizens, as government processes, as private bodies and all that? What are the steps we need to take in making sure that things go smoothly in our system? Is democracy still what it used to be? Is it what it should be? And how can we work on our democratic system? Those are the questions I'll be asking Mr. Ben Ginika on this show today. As you listen, just stay tuned and you will learn something. Now, Mr. Ben, it's good to have you here. You heard me. I said government. We said democracy is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. But in this day, we have realized that government is not actually for the people. Do you share that opinion also?
Yes, I share that opinion in a sense that when the elected derive from the normal duties they are supposed to do, then deviate from providing social welfare for the people, the necessary amenities that people need. When they deviate from it and fail to provide, automatically it's only for them. And you see those things they deny the masses, they provide for themselves. Like you see they're living comfortably. Their children attending private schools, they send them abroad to study, whereby our education system here are nothing to talk about. On that issue, how do we reconcile it that is for the people? When teachers are not paid, as well as civil servants, how can we say it's for the people? When ordinary 30,000 naira minimum wage is being negotiated, and some governors are talking about it, saying that it's a waste of economy. How do we reconcile it? That is for the people. So I can say that democracy in our own setting here is just government for the people that hijacked it. Everything belongs to them. They decide, they don't hear the voice of the masses. That's why if you see during the election as it's coming now, you see their posters all over the place. They are smiling. Once elected, you see them, you can hardly see them smile. You see them using bulletproof cars for themselves, taking flight to wherever they are going. Our roads are nothing to talk about. So, as such, the government is for them. But we still have major role to play. If it's a situation where our votes can count, if they should hold proper election, free and fair election, it's our duty, our votes should take them out. But whereby that system of free and fair election is not in place, there's nothing much the citizens can do. They do selection. They hand over to whoever they want to hire, not the choice of the people. So we still have major roles to play. We can still take protest. If the elected people, the right people we voted are not the people there, we can still take to protest, peaceful protest, in order to achieve our aim. So a lot needs to be done. If we start to analyze them, I don't think day in, day out we keep on talking. But I believe that a word is enough for the wise. If you watch as election is coming now, you see people coming to your doorstep, giving you peanuts, giving you 1 derica of rice. But do you ask yourself, Is it what they give to their children? You see them now, they will say that somebody is against them. Go and protest. Go and do one thing or the other. So funny. Or go and kill so and so person. When they take to that protest, you see that none of their relations will be available. But if we, the citizens, can say, okay, let us tell them to be at the forefront of that protest. Let their children follow suit. So that whatever that will happen to any other person behind them will equally happen to them. If you want their children, they don't come. Majority of their relations, they don't come. But the question we need to ask now, why is this setting working out for them? I may say, maybe because of our level of understanding and level of poverty in this country. Because if on the normal circumstances, I'm busy doing something, Mr. B is busy doing something, before you engage me to do that job, I will check how much I will get in my business for the day. I will negotiate with you. If it can pay me, I will know whether I will do it or not. Then I will check. If you come to enlightenment, we check our level of education. Education is not all about having the whole degree. It's all about knowing you are right. What you are supposed to do at a particular time. Then you cannot be easily bought over if you know you are right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ben.
In your own context, what definition can you give to Nigerian democracy so far, sir?
Well, we just coming up with our own fashion of democracy. As you can see, the behavior of the lawmakers when the president went to present the budget. And some people said it was a show of democracy. So I don't know whether we have our own brand of democracy, because I see the president as the symbol of the country. I see that office. It's not Buhari that you booed. It's not Buhari that you abused. You abused Nigeria in its context. And the president told them the world is watching. This cannot happen in developed economies. Only in Nigeria it happens. And we still call it democracy. So I don't know. I feel we should practice democracy as it is practiced in developed countries.
Sir, I don't know. Do you feel that the level at which we practice democracy in Nigeria gives room for development and improvement?
Yes, it does. It's an emerging process. You can see that apart from the structures we're using now, they were those given to us by the military, actually. And we've not been fortunate enough to have people that are principled to rule this country. You find people that made money through the back door, corrupt people, emerging as our leaders. So I'm not campaigning for the present government, but I can see that the present government is trying to sanitize the polity. So our democracy can develop if this momentum is sustained. The problem is not Buhari, as I see it. The problem is the person that will take over him after his second term. If such a momentum is maintained, then our democracy is bound to be ridden of corruption, and there will be developmental strides.
From the question I asked earlier, we are made to understand that democracy is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. But do you think the way we run democracy in Nigeria, we can define it to be that definition that it is?
Well, our democracy, we can still say is still emerging, because we cannot compare it with the American type of democracy. We are still learning. The society have been so mismanaged to a poverty level. So we now have vote buying, we have a lot of money exchanging hands. So you cannot really say it's the government of the people, for the people, or by the people. We are just coming out of it, and with the process INEC is putting in shape, and with the process this government is trying to do to sanitize a lot of things, I believe the people will still have a say with time. You can see the card reader, you can see all these things that are being put in place. These are things that will help us as we grow up in democracy. So with time, I think people will have their voice. They'll learn to know that it doesn't pay to sell your votes. your vote is your machine gun, so you can use it to change any government you want in a peaceful manner. So that's just it.
Sir, looking back from 1999, if I'm right, up till date, would you say that Nigerian democracy has grown or is still growing?
Now, when you say it has grown and it's still growing, I think you are just opposing what you're saying. You can see there are a lot of things that are emerging now. Like I always refer to the present scenario. You can see that the third arm of government, which is the judiciary, is having an active role to play now. The recent closing up, or what we like to say, barricading of Senator Malai's residence. You can see he went to court and the court said the police were right or are right in what they are doing. So with the rule of law, we find out that many things are being tested in court, and the courts, they are settling a lot of matters. And these were not happening before. So you can see that there are stages in development, and those are part of our development. Now we are now seeing, we will now see the effect of what happened to the president in the National Assembly. If you can boot the president, then the senior president can be booted anywhere. That's the implication. Any member of the parliament can be booted anywhere. Any minister can. So it has to come to a stop. But it's part of development. If they don't do it, you don't know it's good or it's not good. But now, with the emerging scenario from their actions or inactions, Nigerians will now start replaying back to them. Then you find that people are, they one way or the other have a way of expressing themselves. So I think we are developing from A4 to this to that. Is development, and you cannot tell me what happened in when Salami was what happened when Jega was there, and then we now have Yakubu. There are a lot of things. So it's part of development. It's part of democracy.
Thank you very much, sir. Looking forward, in the next 10 years, where do you think we'll get to with this, our form of democracy and politics in Nigeria?
Whether you like it or not, we are making advancements, but it might be slow, it might be disorderly, it might be in any other form. But we are moving, like I told you. I have never seen a government that will say, okay, Mr. Senior President, go to court, or stand trial, or a former governor will be jailed, tried and jailed. I mean, so in the next 10 years, like I said, we should maintain this trend. It's best for Nigeria. It should not be business as usual. Our problem has been business as usual. Our problem is just steal and go. Which one concerns you? So if we will maintain the trend, that's what we are saying. It's not the question of APC or PDP, because there is virtually, people have crisscrossed the two parties. Yesterday, Saraki was in APC, it's not in APC. You can only point to a few individuals. Maybe, not even maybe, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he has maintained a party all the while. People like BC Akonde, people like Balare Bumusa, and a host of others. These are people that can really talk, and you say, okay, they know what they're saying, they know what it is to be a party man. There are people that have crossed parties 5 times, 10 times, and you are now coming and telling us party A is not good, party B is not good. It's not obtainable. People like Bola can come out. Bola Ahmed can come out and say, I'm a progressive, my party is the best, and he has always been in that party. He has never crisscrossed, even when he was in opposition. So he struggled till the party came to the top. So those are principled politicians, not just, those are the kind of people we need in us, no matter his deficiency. Nobody is perfect.
Thank you very much, sir. You've made a very valid point. In rounding up, what is your advice to Nigerians as regards politics and democracy, sir?
My advice is get involved. No matter how long, you get there.
We appreciate you, sir.
Good day, Mr. Durojaye.
Good day, ma'am.
Yeah, Mr. Durojaye, of course, we know very well that democracy is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people, right? Yes, but in this day and time, can we still say that Nigerian democracy is of the people or for the people?
Well, we can still say Nigerian democracy is of the people, for the people, because those people that are managing it, they are people. But if we come to the literal sense of it, how it feels in society, I would say the democracy of today is by some set of people, for some set of people, and being governed by some set of people. Because in a situation where we have godfatherism, that means a set of people are controlling and ruling it. So it is not generally for the people. Because when you go out voting in the democracy, you should understand that your votes can't. You should understand that once the majority vote for someone, it can't. But in these days, we have the fear that many people say, why should I waste my time to go and vote? When I know that they already know the winner. When I know that my vote will not count. So that attests to the fact that everybody now assumes that the democracy is not valid. It's for some set of people, controlled by a exclusive set of people. So it's not the democracy of today is not the democracy that has been defined.
Thank you very much. But if we look at things going on right now, but before I continue, I would like Big Sam to say something about democracy of today.
From my own end, I would say that the democracy of today has been induced. Induced in the sense that now the election is around the corner, and you see this festivity that just rolled over. A lot of bag of rice flying around, a lot of gift items flying around from party chairman to ward chairman and all. So when I say the Nigerian democracy is being induced, you see people sharing Indomie and so many other things just to buy people's heart. And give it or take it, it's just a way of, do I say, inducing the public from doing the right thing. An hungry man is an angry man, like they say. You can't expect an empty stomach to go and vote. So many of these politicians who have eventually put them in those states will still make those provisions for them in order to get them. But the truth is, for how long will this last? Even if you're given 20 bags of rice, one day you will finish it. But don't forget that this same set of people are just the ones behind the predicament of this nation. So I don't think, like you said, or like the way it's been defined, Nigerian politics is being run the way it's supposed to be run.
Thank you, Big Sam. Mr. Durojai, of course, we know that the citizens have a role to play in the issue of democracy, in the system of democracy, right? What is the role, or what are the roles of citizens in the democratic process of Nigeria?
In the democratic process of Nigeria, the role of the citizens starts from doing their franchise right. That is, going out to vote from your heart, from who you think is deserving. That's number one. After voting, there is another thing you have to do. We call it checkmating. Those you selected, those you voted for, are they doing what they ought to do? Why you voted them in? That's another thing. When you discover they're not doing it, then there's one who call. You call back. You recall them. You are not doing what you want you to do. So we have the power to vote them out. That is under a good democracy, under normal circumstances. And then we have the part of the human rights. If they are not coming willingly, the human rights need to stand up to fight it out. If we are under good democracy, and once the human rights fight it out, the society should be able to listen to them and even execute their demand. That is under good democracy. Under good democracy, it is the rule of people to say that there is one thing we head up to, which is the rule of law. Is the rule of law ruling? Is there nobody above the law? But these days, we have a lot of people above the law. That the law can only lay hand on because they are actually above the law. Because the law that will arrest them, they are the one that made the law. They know the in and out of the law, and they know how to cut corner with the law. And there is nobody in society that will voice out because the rule of law is not being used, because the democracy is not being practiced. So I would say a lot of things that society needs to do, we are not being handed out.
Thank you. You have been a student before, and you have been involved in the student union government of your school at one point or the other. What role did you play, or what role did you play in helping ensuring that the students? Do you understand what I'm saying? The students participate in the system of governance. What role did you play?
Number one that I play is that I made myself available. That's number one thing. Making yourself available. That means when you are available, you are able to tell other people that if I can be available, there is no reason why I should not be available. Then, when you are available, how do you play your availability? Is it with a clean heart? Without intimidating or inducing people to buy their heart, as rightly said. So, I went out there, I approached them. This is what I want to do. This is why I want to do what I want to do. And they see reason with me. If it's worth it, they vote me in. If it doesn't worth it, they put another person in. So my duty there was, number one, make myself available. Number two, create awareness. Tell people, this is the reason why you should be part of this government. This is the reason why you should participate. So that is what I do.
Big Sam, I think it's really been a nice time talking with Mr. Durojayi here. Do you have anything to say on a final note?
You know, it's funny when those that are supposed to be lawmakers are the lawbreakers. And like what Mr. Durojayi said, availability. Those that we elect or put in offices, are they available? Can you go to, let's say from the list, the local government chairman's office, and demand to see him, and you'll be given audience? You see, too many things are wrong with Nigerian politics and Nigerian democracy. But I pray that someday, somehow, there will be more like an evolution. And come to think of it, most of the professionals are not politicians because they feel politics is a dirty game. But the truth is, if you don't get involved, then who will? Because if you notice, at the end of the day, people will come from the back door and be the one at the end of affairs and determine the destiny of those so-called professionals. So from my own end, I believe let's all get involved. Let's put our hands in it and let's see what we can make change in our Nigerian politics.
Thank you very much. It's good really having you. We hope to have you some other time. Yeah. Take care of yourself and have a nice time. You've heard it all. Democracy. Is it actually for the people or for the government? You might sit down in your house, sit down watching this, and you're listening to this. You probably feel that it is none of your business, but it is all a collective business. It is your business. It is my business. It is all of us. It is all in our hands to make our nation what it's supposed to be. You as a citizen, you notice that your road isn't looking well. You could actually march to your chairman, your local government chairman, and do a peaceful protest. Knock on his door. It's not a normal thing to do that. You knock on his door and he comes out. If he doesn't do that, if your talk hasn't needed any results, you can walk up to the Senate in that area. Every community always have a Senate constituted in that area. It's very important that we as citizens participate in the issue of governance, in the system of governance, so that things will work how it's supposed to go. It is my business to actually make sure that things go well in our country. But we'll sit down in our sitting rooms and fold our hands and say it is not our business. But someone will knock on your door one day and give you peanuts and you collect it and you will vote wrongly. Be sure that your vote counts. Whether it's a wrong choice or a bad one, your vote counts. So come out today, vote. As the election period is coming up, your hands are very important, your thumbprints are important. I am Justina, reporting for Coded TV.
As a professional, a professor, an engineer, a doctor, are you involved in Nigerian politics? Don't forget that those that we ignorantly put into power determines what happens to our future. Let's get involved. Youth out there, we need you to get involved. Politics and democracy is what we all can do. Practice to make change. The change we require is not the change that we see now. For us to have a change that we yearn for, the change has to start with us. This is Big Sam for Coded TV.
Here we stand as a people with one song, with one voice.